Yorana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're all doing well. What am I doing there? Yep, sorry, I was just flicking around screens. We're back for the kind of end of season summary. So we had a pretty successful season. We managed to get promoted. I'm going to take you through what's happened in all the other leagues, a bit of the news that has already happened, and then depending on how long all of that goes on, I might come back and show you any transfers we've made, or I might save that for the start of the next episode. Probably the start of the next episode. I've got a few bits to cover for this, and a short episode here and there is not too bad. So if we look at the Premiership, good times have returned. The Humpbacks won 6 points clear in the end, with Huahine and Taha the runners-up. So they've won for the 26-27 season, Chance and Huahine, and then they were there when we were there previously. So they're back on top. So it's good that they've not kind of completely lost their way. So it's always a worry when you leave a team in Football Manager that somehow the AI manager is going to completely ruin it. And I don't think they've done the best job, because they had a couple of years, not quite in the wilderness, but if you look at the past winners, they did drop off. They had second and third, and they've come back. So that's good. They're doing okay. Interesting to see that Luca Barr, a player that we signed for them and rotated them in, is the top goal scorer for the season. He's that Marquesan player. So he's got 46 caps, 23 goals now. Some of those caps and goals coming from when we played them. He's valued at £425,000. That's an insane value. To put it in perspective, the average starting value for players in this database in the very first season is about £400, and that's the upper end of the average, but it's being generous. So 17 goals. Anyone interested in him? Let's have a look. We're interested in him. That's just because he's on my transfer list. We've not got a chance of getting him. We could not afford the minimum release, the contract, or even his actual value there. Yeah. But, there he is. Uapoa got relegated, and they're the only team to get relegated because Manuel managed to win in the relegation playoff against second place in Championship, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, interesting. So in terms of the range of teams we're going to be going into this league, we've got mainly Tahitian teams still, but Takaroa are still there. So Takaroa are... where are they based? The easiest thing to do is to see where the stadium is. Takaroa, I think, are they Tuamotun? This is not the easiest way to see, is it? Tuamotun, yeah, there it is. So, got Tuamotun side there. Got the Nukuhiva Spearheads, who are kind of parent team, who that'll get cancelled when we get promoted, who are Marquesan, and then unfortunately Uapoa have been relegated comprehensively for their 9 points, so missing a Marquesan side, but then we'll be going up as a Gambier side, so we're adding a little bit of variety in there. You've got Rura2, who are the Austral Island side as well, so gradually shifting things. If we look at other kind of players, you've got the second top goal scorer, 33, Giles Tessier. Bordas, Gaitan Bordas, 19-year-old for Papite, who managed to get over the financial troubles they had a couple of seasons ago. If we look at Humpbacks as well, look at their team. They've still got McIntyre, who we had, who's been doing alright for them, still appearing quite a lot. They have Twig, Flojanic still playing, they've got McCormack, kind of bit parts for some of these players. Dallowin, Beauvalet. Yanin has played 31 games for them this season, scored 17 goals for them. He is, I think by default, he is the top goal scorer for Rura2 because Gerard got released. He got moved on, so he wasn't able to compete for his crown. So Yanin has taken the spot, and no one else will be challenging him anytime soon. 115 league goals and 188 league appearances. Just ignoring cups. But obviously, since we've left, his tally has gone down a bit. Got Luca Barr as well. 425. Actually, how much is Yanin? Yanin's only worth 9 grand. Beauvalet's worth more. A few of these news players I don't know about. Dallowin's worth more. Johan Andre was, I think, is one of the best players in this database in terms of how well-rounded he is and his age. Only worth 44,000. I mean, he could be 4 million for all it matters to us. We can't afford him, but he's there. I think he wanted to leave a while ago, but the only people interested in him are us. But yeah, they're doing okay. If we look at their kind of facilities as well, they're in 2,215 all-seater now, so they expanded. What is this? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? So they're moving stadiums from the 2,215 all-seater to the 6,312 capacity Rodrigo de la Vega Stadium. I'm honoured. Absolutely gobsmacked by that. I've never had in the past, since about FM19, so getting on for 5 years when FM20 comes out, in 4 or 5 versions of FM, I've never had a stadium named after me, despite, performing miracles with some teams. And I'm going to have one named after me, and I don't even manage the club anymore. I wonder if this is when we play them. Oh, when do they move in? Ooh, June next year. So we've got to survive next season. And if we survive next season, we will play at the Rodrigo de la Vega Stadium. We will have made it. Touching. A little sad that they did it after I left. But that's, I guess, because I'm a bit of a legend around those parts. Yes, I'm a legend. Could have been me, could have been the Gerrard Stadium. I'm glad they picked me in the end. Well, I feel a bit sad that I'm not managing them now that that's happened, but whatever. Maybe we'll get 2 stadiums named after us. Get the Turtengegi Wings Stadium named after us. It could happen. We've only won like 1 title with them. Nothing particularly impressive yet. We could get there. So we'll move on. Otherwise, I'll gush too much about having a stadium named after me. But the stadium looks pretty sweet when it's done as well. It'd be nice to see a different style stadium. If we go down to the championship, you can see that San Pedro, who were runners-up, didn't manage to beat Manuel. Just a bit sad. It would have been good if we could have had that. We obviously won. And down at the bottom, the Corollas have been relegated. If you look at players around us, we have Bahrain, who looks good. Let's stick him on the shortlist. 26 goals. Pasquier, no, I'm not going to be going for him. Lukman Chidi's already, or should already be on our shortlist. Chidi Bang, or Chidi the Shark Man, depending on who you are. He looks good. I reckon he could. I mean, he's not rated as being especially good, but he's good. We've not got any top goal scorers, but we've got top assists coming in here. Some good average ratings from Kerr. They're doing the job. If we go down into the gold, let's see who's coming up. It is Naruto coming up, so another Austral Islands side, which is good. Comprehensively beating the Corollas there. And if you look at the league table, the Feral Cats, under 23s, getting relegated in the end. So Naruto got promoted, but obviously they didn't win the title. They were far off. And these are all kind of strong Premiership sides, so they've all got strong under 23s. Going to the silver, there are no real teams in the silver anymore. Our under 23s won it though. Again, comprehensively, because we actually started putting players in there, although we don't have a youth system. Inter-Island Cup was won by the Humpbacks, so at least in the double, I think they've done more than that, but reasonable win over Hueen. Super Cup was won by Ace Chance, the youth team. Windward by Manuel. The Leeward by Ace Chance. So Ace Chance quite successful. Humpbacks won the Mutineer Pride, so they got the treble, I guess, of sorts. And then the Marquesa Pride, the Marquesa Pride Shield. So the Marquesan one won by the Spearheads, and then the actual Shield of Pride was won by Manuel in the end. And the Youth Cup by the Huahine Islands. The only other thing to look at competition-wise, the Oceania Champions League, which was won by Huahine. So if we look at, so this is when we won it, when we were there. Auckland came back, Humpbacks won it again, and then Huahine won it this. So this is more money being injected. This is probably why Rotu were able to build a stadium named after my manager. Because obviously my real name isn't Rodrigo de la Vega, it's my manager's name. I think I mentioned in the very first episode, I had a really good player in a St. Johnston save in FM 2005. Really good player called Rodrigo de la Vega, so every player I play as now is, every manager gets that name. But yeah, so this is money coming in. So Huahine, if they get knocked out in the playoffs of the Club World Championship, they'll get about 750 grand. So money's gradually coming in. We just need to make sure we keep somebody from Tahiti or from Polynesia is winning this, which is pretty good. Top goal scorer there, he looks good. Not going to be able to get it. We could afford his wage. Couldn't afford anything else. So we've got that. There's a few things have also happened as well, so I'll probably wrap up the episode soonish. But you might notice, if you look at the finances, got £150,000. Bit different from when we were £490,000 in debt, and I was worried about things. And I think I mentioned in a previous episode there was hints of a consortium takeover, and yeah, that happened, which I'm actually a little bit irritated about. So Rangiroa-based investors, this is an island near Hitiraa. That's already in the database, actually, I didn't have to add that one. Hugo Araneda has completed takeover of the Wings. Wanted to make a difference, wants to get us back in a sound financial footing, so he invested that money in there. No further investments. Things have changed, that kind of thing. Embargo's lifted, so we can actually do stuff now. But that's, financially, we don't have to worry anymore. We've got at least the season's grace before things go horribly wrong. So our income's still not going to be fantastic. But it happened to us when we were at the Humpbacks, and I think what the game is doing is it's stepping in when it sees teams are financially vulnerable but have some measure of success, and then the takeover's coming. Whereas with teams like Papeete, a couple of seasons ago, you might remember they got a point deduction. It was 7 points that got deducted because they'd gone into administration because they had the financial issues, but they didn't have any on the pitch kind of success. They didn't have any titles or cups or things like that to name. They had no money coming in from playing the OCL. They weren't even qualifying for it. So I think it makes sense in terms of which clubs are getting bought out, but it's just because I've been in charge of them. It bothers me. It feels like an easy way out. It doesn't actually make much difference to us in that, our transfer budget hasn't changed. We have no money to spend. Our wage budget had already been set at about £8,000 when we finished the season. So we're currently spending 5, committed to 4. So we've got about 4 grand to spend on wages on top of what we're already spending next season. If we look at our squad, I go to the contract use. This is what I tend to do at the end of every season. Is I'll go through, see who's leaving, which is a lot of players. As I say, see who's leaving, see who's on the way out. And what I'll do is I'll go through and release the ones I'm not particularly bothered about. So this guy here, he's not actually very good. We're paying him money. I can get a better backup. I think if we look at how many times he's played, came on 4 times because we didn't have many players in the league anyway. So there's some players I'll probably just get rid of. So as a goalkeeper, not very good. He's a Gambier player, which is why I kind of wanted to keep him. But basically, as I go through this, O'Leary can go, not very good. Basically, he's not a first choice keeper. Didn't do very well. He's on £210 a week. Off he goes. Going down here, going to get rid of this goalkeeper as well. Taripa, going to get rid of him. So that's probably only 3 players I'm looking to get rid of. But by getting rid of them, that's £430 we're freeing up. That's 10% of what we're already spending on our wages we're getting rid of with those kind of 3 players. We set them to release. Of the ones that are left, I'll probably offer them a contract to keep them together, because they're all pretty good, and hopefully if they do want an increase in their wage, that increase might be offset by the fact we just cleared £400 odd of the wage. So what I'll do this off camera. I'll go through and I'll make the offers and things for these players, get them in. When we look at the kind of, I want to say, squad depth, let's go back to my Tahiti view. Position-wise, we need another keeper. We need a better keeper. Happy with the right back. Centre of defence is okay, could be better. If we could get one other player in there who's good, that'd be good. Left back, I'm happy with Lam. Lam was our player of the season. Fans voted him in. He's got vast amounts of experience. Lam will do. In the centre of midfield, Monier and Ruiz. Ruiz didn't actually play that much. I could probably get Ruiz can go. It's only worth £15. Set for release. How much is Ruiz on? 100. So we're £530 something we're saving. Monier doesn't look good, but he came in and did the business when he needed to. He's played over 20 games in the end. Taylor didn't really play much, but he's got a contract with us, so we'll keep him. Minan we need to keep on because he was good. We could probably do with another central midfielder. On the left, I'm pretty happy with these two, Manuel and Bauman. On the right, I'm happy with Minan, which maybe needs someone better than Taylor to be back up. Up front, Tamangara and Wallace are good, and I like them. So Tamangara got 12 goals in the end, Wallace got 19, and Chabert came on and got 11. So Chabert's not terrible, he just looks terrible, he just doesn't, play it. I think another striker would be good as well. So keeper, maybe another central defender and right back, another central midfielder and right winger, another striker. Talking maybe 5-6 players to bring in to actually improve the team in a kind of reasonable way. In the under-23s, we don't really have anyone. I mean, I say when we don't really have it, we literally have nobody in here because we don't have a kind of youth intake. In fact, should we ask the board for some things whilst we're here? So what's it in? Is it network? Improve youth recruitment. Oh, that's it. There's the door. Get out. Normally you can be like, oh, but please. Or, I think we're going to be left behind. No, just go. No more requests. I don't think they're going to do anything for us. Okay. Let's look at the club overview then. So we know we need a few players. Finances, we managed to get back on an even keel. We're favoured personnel. This is Minan and Lam. Unfortunately, Ruiz is going. Not legends yet. Got a capacity of 807 at our sandy, poor stadium. I don't think we're going to get any expansions or anything like that, because if we look at some of the stats, this sort of team detailed stats, look at blah blah blahs. Average attendance, whilst we were getting the highest average attendance of all the other teams here, and that was about 73% of our kind of cap, we're not selling out. We had no sellouts, 14 home games, so I don't think there's the financial impetus there to actually expand the stadium any further. So I think it'll be at the end of next season, maybe they'll expand, depending on how well we do. So, but this is improving. When we started, this was much lower because we're in the gold development. So it's about, 300, 400? So we've got a big boost. We'll get another boost next season. Maybe we'll get close to filling it next season. But it's interesting. In terms of salary per annum, we're actually spending a reasonable amount as it stands compared to like our other championship sides. A lot of insecure teams who are going to start struggling. We're spending the most. More than double was spent by Mount and they finished 7th. If we go up to the Premiership, you can see some of the differences. So, Humpbacks spending 630 100,000. Taha and Moria around about the 500,000. Huhin and Manuel not far off that. What did we spend again? 237. So 237 would put us between 13th and 14th here. So yeah, but we have the capacity to spend twice that. So we could be spending up to about 460, which would put us up here if we did that. And I don't really want to do that because we'll rinse through what little money we've got and we'll never get a youth recruitment policy sorted out. In terms of where our attendance was put us, so the average attendance, oh gosh. So the humpbacks, the average attendance is, first of all, no wonder they're getting a new stadium. They didn't get any sellouts, but they're pushing close. 2,127, that's massive. When we started with the humpbacks, we were getting less than 500. And we're in 2027 now, so what, 8 years on, so we're getting into our 9th season we'll be coming into soon. We've got above the 2,000 mark there. And if there are a lot of teams are getting over that kind of 500 capacity that people started off with, so 8 teams are averaging more than 500, which was the base sort of capacity for almost all the stadiums, apart from the ones playing in national stadiums. So that's really promising that we're getting that. Bizarrely, the ones with getting sort of lower averages are the only ones who actually managed to get a sellout. But this might also be because they've got smaller state. Well, it is because look at the percentages. So when we get into the Premiership, we'll be on the smaller side on budget. Our average attendance would put us up around here, so mid-table. We're way off the big teams, but what we just want to do is first of all survive, see if we can sneak into the OCL would be pretty nice, but mainly just see if we can survive for that first season. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go and look for some players and see who's interested in joining. Let's get rid of that. Let's just see who's interested before I finish the video now. There are some players we rate quite highly that are interested, but whether we can actually afford them is a different matter. Teo Hutt used to play for us in the international side. Logan Frey doesn't look very good. Matt Jones. Cowick, I think we signed for Ruru, and then we left. Yeah, so there's not too many massive names. There's a few names from Ruru, so we might steal from them. I might see if I can get Ahmed Smith. If we're going to just carry on just signing players we used to already have. But this is what we're going to run into as a problem. So we can offer a reasonable wage now. We can offer to £800. So it used to be we were capped right down here. That's £800 is a tenth of our wage budget. So we're not going to do that just yet. I might come back to him because I might have to swallow my pride and actually we'll bring him in on a trial, soften him up. But I might have to do that. There's no one particularly amazing standing out. So we're going to have to be particularly careful when we look. What things I'm going to do when I look as well is I'm going to look based on some of the attributes that I found out in my recent Dictate the Game article, more essential. So things like positioning, jumping reach are pretty key. I'm going to keep using them to kind of guide me into this. But yeah, there's not a huge amount of amazing players out there for us. Because our rep's going to increase, but not massively. And it's a long way to go to play for what will be relegation fodder, is what our prediction will be. But I'm going to do that off camera because that's going to take... Ooh, Lookman Chidi. He is technically down as being interested. Come on, Chidi Bang. Can give you nothing. Because we can't actually afford £450. Yeah, they'll go for it. Now, the reason they're going to go for this is not simply because the game's kind of bugged, but because they value him so little. For £450, £200 doesn't make much of a difference at this level. They're not going to be spending that £450 on anything. What they'll be doing is they're getting rid of £110 plus whatever bonuses he's on. And Mayao are one of the teams that are insecure, so they need to get players off their books. Now, what they should have done is just hold on. See, if I would have paid them money and then taken out the wage budget, but a lot of teams are still not paying money. So if we go to the competitions, go up to the, that's not the way to do it. If we go up to the Premiership and then look at the transfers, and sort again by fee, you've only got a few fee-paying transfers here, and again they're still small. These ones aren't beating the record we originally set with Ruratu. 14.5 is that the highest? 18.5 is like the record that now stands in terms of total, including like add-ons and stuff. So a lot of teams are quite willing to like trade players because it frees up wage budget to get someone else. And if Lookman Chitty's thinking of going, you can come to us. So yeah, I'll end there. Rambled on, but basically to summarise, we're getting promoted. In a year's time in the game, we'll be able to go to Ruratu and play at the Rodrigo de la Vega Stadium that they've named in my manager's honour, which should be nice. So yeah, see you in the next episode where we'll do the I'll summarise the transfers and we'll go into the first match of the season. Thanks very much.